everybody, and thank you for joining with us at Domestic Balance Wears Many Tags, organization based out of Washington, D.C., but we love helping people in the DMV area. We are dedicated to building an organization that is based on love, that is based on truth, and that is based on helping one another grow. Today what we've done, we've met with our sister circle today, which is women and teenage girls face the truth about abuse. A lot of times we don't understand some of the things that we're going through in our life as it pertains to abusive situations and the things, the turmoil that we may be facing in our relationships. And those relationships can be many tags, with women, with men, with our children. It's so many different tags that abuse wears. And in our sister circle, we're going to show you just in a minute how we sit in this circle and really bring in great emotions and great feelings in order to help our sisters heal from abusive relationships. Now, I want you to go in with us and take a look at this great sister circle and reach out to us at Domestic Balance Wears Many Tags. Queen Afee, and my number is 202-821-8933. We will bring this sister circle to you because we really want you to get the help that is needed. Peace and love. Enjoy. Number two, a lot of things rolled over onto my daughter with me going through this process of abuse and living with different men, and we fighting and fussing and cussing and all of the verbal stuff that kicks off the physical, because the verbal kicks off the physical. The verbal is what kicks it off right there, because you don't know how that person gonna respond to you. You know, when you get out there running your mouth, anything can happen. You know, anything can happen when you start going at people like that. And we don't know how that other person is going to respond. They can pick up a knife, they might have a gun, whatever. You know, they might not be doing no talking. It might just get into a big old fight right then and there. So we gotta learn how to be respectful towards people, period. Whether, I know it's easier said than done, whether somebody's cussing you out or, you know, all those good things, but you gotta look at where you are in your life. You know, what's important to you as a woman? You know, how do you want people to view you? You know, is the question that we need to ask ourselves as women. So that plays a big factor in abuse. So verbal kicks off the physical. Verbal, then physical. Right? So we need our sister circle in order to get in here and really know and talk about the things that is happening to us. We don't demand that anybody speaks. In fact, I prefer it if you listen, because you're getting it that way. You know. But we do have our sisters in here who like to talk about what they're going through, and that's great, because everybody got a story to tell. Your testimony may save somebody else's life. So yeah, dialogue is always good, because you're getting it out of you. Whatever that anger is that's inside of you, so mad, is getting out of you, which gives you relief and probably a lot of understanding to what it is that's going on with you when you're in the setup of, you know, around other sisters that have gone through what you're going through or what you have already went through. It's just easier to be in a setup like that. I had a sister call me the other day actually, and she was like, Queen, I had nobody else to talk to, you know, and it was nobody else to talk to, so I had to call you, because my family don't understand. A lot of times, family don't understand what you're going through. They always say, just leave, just pack up your stuff, you can just leave, just leave. And that's not the answer. You know, to leave in an abusive relationship, because when you try to break the control of the abuser, you're putting yourself at risk. You really are. It's more riskier when you just leave, pack up your stuff, and then you telling him, I'm leaving you, you ain't no good, but bro, you try to leave. You know, his anxiety go way up. Who you think, what? You know, and then it can go on all the way as far as death at that point. So And the flip side is women can too. They can get amped up, you know, all the way to the tippy top. Get a knife, gun, whatever, they can get amped up too. So we gotta be mindful of that. And that's why the circle is very, very important. Because you can hear other stories. You can get the steps that you need to you know, start helping yourself come out of whatever it may be, abusive relationship or whatever. So we kick it off with our journal work, which Beautiful Believer always does journal work. Journal work is good. It's a way of writing those feelings out. If you're not that type of person who wants to talk, or you know, you feel like you can't talk to nobody, you can't trust anybody, blah blah blah. You have your journal there to write in entry and just, you know, kind of go back and reflect. Always go back and reflect over your journal work in which you're writing about, because it helps you grow from that point, especially if you want change in your life. If you want change, you know, it's not going to just come drop to you. You got to work to get the change that you want.
My name is Beautiful Believer. I am a victim of domestic violence. I used to verbally abuse people. Physically, I was kidnapped when I was 12 years old for 6 months, and I was brainwashed, sexually abused, and before I even was in contact with domestic violence with many tags, I had called a hotline for domestic violence, and that's when I was referred to Queen of Fees program. So through Queen of Fees program, I've learned a lot about myself, and just learned to start to be open and knowing that what I went through was not for me but to help someone else. Sometimes my life feels like a storm that I'm never going to get out of. Repeated actions of the past feels in my present, and I feel like it's going to be my future. But I never thought about the people that I've hurt, only the ones that have hurt me, and I blame them. I blame them for the way that I've been, for cursing, for having sex, for using drugs, for gangbanging. But I never reflect on myself. And at times when I sleep at night, when I think about how I possibly want to kill myself, or how I possibly want to kill others for mistakes that they haven't even done. But I feel like I can't trust anyone. No one's there for me to talk to. I feel like jumping off a bridge sometimes. And I'm thinking about what my life can be without my children. But I've always wanted Daddy just to say that he loved me. I always wanted him to care. I praised him and disgraced my mother from beating her up. In her face, I couldn't even stare. A woman that birthed me, but I didn't recognize from the beatings that I gave her, when at times I should have been receiving the beatings for disobeying her. But now I grow up in a world where I found God and where I found a different path, where I want to just keep walking strong and keep holding on and never look back at my past. Where I've gained a new family, where I've gained new love, where I've learned to love myself and to never give up. For these days are my days, and I should not die alone. For God is my Father. But each day when I open up my eyes and I look into my children's eyes, and when they let me know that Mommy loves me, it helps me to be the person that God wants me to be. To not be a failure, to no longer live in the streets, but to be the person to succeed. Spoken word artist, to live my life free. No longer will I have to look upon myself as shame. No longer will I have to cry because I'm sad, but I cry because I'm glad to live another day and to not be in the darkness of shame.
So you said not live in the darkness.
Right.
What does that look like for you?
I have to learn how to let people go at times, even if I feel like I'm alone.
It's okay to say, no, I don't want to, or no, I can't.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Just because it's my son or my daughter, I feel an obligation to them. No, my obligation to my son or my daughter is to see that they make it on their own, because guess what? I'm leaving And you need to be able to stand up on your own 2 feet and become self-sufficient.
And realizing though, sis, that it's okay to be alone, even if it's for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, not no week or month. And okay, I'm cool now. I'm gonna try this with someone else. No, really understanding that it's okay to be alone. Try like 5 years. Mr. White ain't came to my door yet.
Oh, my mother had schizophrenic. I have to deal with the fact that that might be genetically passed on to me. That I may be a slight schizophrenic case, you know? But when I come around my sisters, when I come around my mothers, they help me, they embrace me, they love me even when I couldn't love myself.
Everybody in here got a story to tell. Even myself. I've been sexually abused too by a family member. I've had a guy, boyfriend, and I had 2 black eyes at the same time. You ever seen that?
Me too.
I was telling people I got
2 black eyes at the
same time. My eyes were swollen shit. You know, I have stabbed someone, put them in the hospital. So we all got some little crazy issues and things going on, and it's okay. And we're gonna get over this. The thing is, don't get stuck there. Talk to someone.
Well, the thing is too that she's in a circle with women that has that same story or similar to her story. Some of the things that we said here today, she can relate to. You know? And so there's no way that she couldn't feel some type of comfort coming apart. And then there's that trust factor, that trust piece. Like, how do I know I can trust these women? You know, how do I know what's going on? It's that block there. That's why I recommend that people just come and listen. For those of us that are in abusive relationships, or those of us that know somebody that's in an abusive relationship, the He Has No Clue campaign educates women and teenage girls on how to leave an abusive relationship, because, again, breaking the control of the abuser can be deadly.
Start reading to that child in your womb. Start teaching them music in your womb. Start telling them that they are great in the womb, and watch what will happen. Watch what will happen. You will get worried. Now, the brothers up there may be too late for them. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not.
No.
Okay, then I stand corrected. But these kids now, they're here to teach us.
You just have to start the children, like you said, in the womb.
And then if you bring those daughters and tell them, okay, come on, you can talk to mom. Mom want to talk to you. First, mom, you have to not criticize, judge. You can't criticize that child. You can't judge that child. And you have to be open to hear and accept what they are feeling. Because it ain't about you. It's about them. And you can't get mad if that daughter comes to you and say, Mom, I'm ready to have sex. And then you can't get mad. You told her, you opened it up for her to come to you.
She got to be able to talk about anything. She got to be able to talk. Your children, our children, got to be able to talk to us about anything. So we're going to kick off Brokenness to Boldness with my sister over here. She's going to kick us off with that.
About 7 years ago, 6 years ago, I had met a dude, and I feel like that I was in love with the dude. I was young, and I thought that he loved me, but it turned out he was a married guy. But throughout those years that I was in a relationship with him, he used to manipulate me with money, lies. He was jealous. He'd stalk me, things of that nature. Because I felt like my sister over here, I felt like she didn't understand me and she didn't want to listen to me. But the last stroke was when I was in the hospital about 2 months ago, and I wanted to kill myself. And my sister told me, she said, you gonna kill yourself over a man? And I remember it, even though I was medicated up off the medication that they told me. But she was like, sis, that's not you. And I was like, well, I don't care. I don't give a F. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. But then when I got off the medication and I came home, and I was like, you know what was I thinking? That's not me. I had to choose. And I was like, you know what? I love my family. I got a good family. Yeah, I know we all make mistakes, but I'm trying to break the cycle. I don't want especially my oldest sister, I don't want her to feel like I'm like my mother, because I'm not like my mother. because I grew up in an abusive household, and I watched that. So as I got older, I thought it was okay for a man to put his hands on a female because my mother never got help for herself. I'm going to get out this darkness because right now I'm in the dark about a lot of things. And I promised myself, and I said, if I don't make it out of here, somebody's going to die. It might be me, it might be one of my family members, or it might be my niece and nephew, because I felt like I was going to end it. I had a talk with my sister. I said, sister, you know what, look, I can't do this no more. I feel like I can't move on. I feel like I was going to kill myself. And you know what she told me on that phone, sis? Do not do that because you have a niece and you have a nephew, and that's so stupid. So now I'm here, and I'm a walking testimony, and I feel like I overcame that because I felt like the things that you was putting in my head about my family not loving me. Oh, you ain't got no friends. I didn't, after all your friends, they don't love you. They don't care about you. And that was brainwashed. And I was actually, I like came to my sister like, you mess with this dude. It was making me crazy.
It was making you crazy.
Right. It was making me crazy. Like with my friends, but it was. I felt like, and I went to school and I was a peer mediator. And what I learned as a peer mediator is never blame the other person.
Exactly.
Don't blame other. And I never talked to my sister like that. I never said, sis, I feel like I'm about to end my life. I never told. That's how she knew it was serious because when I talked to my sister, I'd be like, man, I'm stronger than that. I ain't about to do that. I can move on from that. But it was hard because I was in a relationship with him for 7 years, a long time, and she didn't, and I'm gonna give it to her, she didn't know because I used to hide it from her.
So what is your bonus at this point?
My bonus is I got something to live for. Right. I got something to live for. My niece, my nephew, my sister, my mother, and my baby sister, and myself. But
Most of all.
Now your sister has a lot of emotions going on down here. Sis, what are you feeling, you know, that your sister has came clean here today and spoke on her brokenness to boldness? Sis, what are you feeling down there?
Just feeling a lot. Because I'm going through things and I know that she's going through so much more. You know, she's not overcame everything. She's going through it every day. You know, and she's still like living in a home and she has to deal with a whole lot of things. You know, and I'm not there with her because I have my own family that I'm trying to deal with.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And I'm just up there, she's talking, that she's even here.
He used the information that he knew against her.
Yeah, he had
He
tools,
had big tools.
and it made
He
me
was
like,
a manipulator.
sis, I
That's
can't
all he was.
like, it made me like, not hate her, but it made me dislike her for like a couple of years and not want to be around her because I felt like you played my family against each other, and before you even came into the picture, we was not like that. Me and my sister can talk about anything. Yeah, I might have done what I did, but we used to can talk, sit, talk, laugh, and joke, but when you got into the picture, the things that she used to tell you about our family, you used it against me and turned me against her and making it seem like, oh, your sister don't want to be around you.
Let's go to another, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Oh my God, it takes a lot to do that. It takes a lot to share. It takes a lot to share a story like this. This is not an easy thing to do. Okay? That's why, again, I don't mind that you speak. Okay? You know that's not going to judge you. You need that circle right there. That circle of women that got stories just like you. You know, and they understand me. Because 9 times out of 10, our family and friends that ain't in no circle, that don't know about domestic violence, wear as many tags, they gonna talk about you. Like a dog. What we wanna do is stay focused on our plan, who we are, what we working with, whichever way we trying to go. Stay with your sister circle. Don't get too far out there, you know, and you feel like you're out there lonely by yourself, ready to slit your wrist or ready to kill somebody else.
Everybody keeps talking about healing with self and, you know, what does it look like?
Healing yourself.
Yeah, because, like, I have a number of scenarios, stories, whatever, that have gone on in my life. I'm only 20. So, like, traumas or whatever had started from me being a child, and then they escalated. So it seems like every year is always something going on, and if I get out that situation, it's always something else. So everything's always synchronized in my life. So I don't feel as though I had the means to heal. Now I remember you saying something about like if you're in a situation like when your companion is putting his hands on you or whatever, don't just get up and leave or whatever. Talk to somebody. How do you start? Because like I had family, but they're not there, and so it's like I feel as though at times I have no choice but to turn back to the people that have hurt me, because I don't have anybody else, regardless of people saying, oh, I'm there for you, and then when I tell people, no, you're not, they get upset with me. But I'm like, when X, Y, and Z was going on, I couldn't call you. I had my sister. I just went through a situation where I was assaulted. The police came, did nothing. I called my sister. I mean, like, I ain't had nobody else to call, but I called her, you know, and she laughed in my face. I called my mother. My mother, like, go call your father. I called my father. It's like everybody is putting that help that I need on somebody else. So it's like, that's why at times I shut down or I get mad at everybody, because I don't trust nobody, because I don't trust too many people, and I feel vulnerable. And when I become vulnerable around people, they take advantage of that, and that's why I hate people. I do at times.
Right now, you can't rely on people. You got to start relying on you. You got to start putting your energy into what you can do to get out of whatever you're going through, and then take it to that boldness piece. Finding a place for you and your son, where you and your son can have a safe haven. The first step, you came to this circle with mama here. Alright? You can stay with our circle. We would love to have you here to help you start building yourself up to a point where some of that anger can just go out the door. You can be done with that anger and say, look, this is about me and my son. I have to start taking control over this situation. Period. You gotta say, I'm taking my life back. I'm getting ready to be in control over my life. And I'm gonna do A, B, C, D, whatever it is for me to stand on my own 2 feet. So my son is not at risk of becoming an abuser or getting hurt.
You gotta say, I'm a woman.
And I gotta do this for me and my son.
And I'm gonna do this
for me and my son.
Because you have to do it for him. You have to do it for yourself. Okay? And it's a way. You just gotta take the steps.
And they just brought all that anger back out of me because of the stuff that they're dealing with. So that's why I'm kind of back in the state that I'm in or whatever. So this hasn't, I don't know, maybe I didn't really get over everything that I thought I did.
Of course not.
But it's just coming out full force now, and I don't like it.
Yeah. So,
well, you're in the right place.
Yes, you are.
Take some peace and love up out here with your sister, girl. I know that we're here for you, girl. You don't have to go through this process by yourself. All right?
All right.
You don't have to go through this process by yourself.
Glad you're here.
All right? Whatever we can do.
Come back.
Keep coming back. It works if you work.
If you work.
All right? Stay connected to us. Peace and love, baby. Oh, a group job. BB doing so well.
All right, boo-boo.
Yay, thanks for coming, girl. Thank you, cousin.